Welcome back to the Underdog Jets podcast with Wayne Chrebet and pinch Jets fans right now because they are 3-2 after a thrashing of the Miami Dolphins. Can you believe it, number 80? I know you were there because I saw you from way above before the game getting introduced. I think you and Joe had some words during that time. How was your day and what'd you think?
That was a great day. It started with us alumni. I think there was 70 Jets legends there getting announced and being out there with the tunnel, giving high fives to the players, talking with Joe Namath, and just talking about, what it would have been nice to have a win versus Miami. It's been a while, and certainly, it happened, and great win for Jets players, Jets fans, and a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, Braylon Edwards put out a tweet yesterday, I think it was, where he was just counting his blessings, just loving how the Jets treated him, telling the world that Jets organization treats him better than any other team or even college. He mentioned, so he really loved it. Did you happen to see Braylon?
Yeah, I talked to all those guys. I mean, like I said, there was a bunch of them. It was great. I mean, some of the guys I haven't seen in forever. I remember one guy I haven't seen since my rookie year. No one probably, I don't remember, but Dexter Carter.
I remember. Yeah, I remember Dexter Carter.
And I said to him, this is a meaningful conversation. I said, do you remember my rookie year, first game, you took me to the Mons Venus strip joint?
No.
I said, I spent my per diem in like 15 minutes. You took me there. And I said, I'll always remember that you took me there. I was a young guy. And this guys like that I haven't seen in a while. And certainly talk with Joe and the other Ring of Honor guys. It was just a perfect start to the day. And watching the clock go to 0-0 with a 40-17 win was kind of just, icing on the cake.
Yeah, listen, folks, if you don't know Mons Venus, it is a world-renowned establishment in Tampa.
Yes. Very classy.
Yes, it's world renowned. It's classy. It's customer friendly, shall we say?
Yes, they're very friendly.
Yeah, they got one or two rules, and they're stern, but not too many rules. Just one or two. Anyway, a lot of athletes, a lot of famous people have been through. I've been fortunate myself once on one glorious occasion, but yeah, 40-17. I mean, it was a close game all the way throughout. And, some Jets fans were a little disappointed in that they didn't put the gas pedal all the way down. But listen, folks, this is the NFL. There's going to be close games. This Miami team is good. I know Bridgewater was knocked out on the first play. Great schemed up play. Solid Ulbrich for over the last 2 weeks since Cincy. The game plan I didn't like. They have been tremendous. I think they found their identity, their DNA defensively, and it starts with the coverage. Their coverage is tremendous, and it started with that sauce cat blitz off the corner.
Yeah, I was talking to LC today on a podcast, and I said 2 tough calls on pass interference. I didn't think either one was a pass interference. LC said one was.
Yeah, I think
if the one's on our sideline, they don't call it. But since it was right in front of the Dolphins bench, they're yelling for the flag and getting on the refs, and they called it. So questionable, but you got to be able to play through it.
Yeah, those are the Dolphins' biggest plays, right? I mean,
yeah.
The sauce one, I would say, was not. DJ Reed, I would say, was not. Michael Carter was in a great spot. The only thing that got in his way is he grabbed the jersey. Hand on hip was right there. It was perfect, but he grabbed the jersey. That kind of made the ref throw it. But again, great coverage. The game plan was obvious. They were going to force Miami to run the ball. And they were too deep. They were very soft. And you're going to do that with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And McDaniel's job is right there is to run the ball and force the defense to change. He did it to some effectiveness, in the middle of the game, but it wasn't enough. And for that, I think the Jets game plan was perfect.
Yeah. Bend but don't break. Don't give up the big play and make them run. Yeah, they were, running the ball okay. But how about us? 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
When was the last time we did that? By 3 different guys? Zach,
Carter, Brees.
Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous. Exciting. There's a bunch of questions.
Yep.
One, how did it feel to be in the arch rival Dolphins? Obviously, what is it, 12? 0-12 in the last AFC East
I
games?
think it was 12 straight, yes.
Yeah, so that's massive. As in, we're talking about the hurricane down to Florida. Yes, whoever was down there, you
Eagle
guys were talking
Fang.
about. Hopefully you made it out all right. Vinid, can you please elaborate on the O line and if you think we should keep AVT at right tackle permanently? What do you think?
It's one of those things where, you know, I've thought AVT is their best player. He's no nonsense. He never makes a peep. You like that at your lineman, and he's the modern day offensive version of Joe Klecko in my mind.
Right.
But I would not try to keep him at right tackle. His ceiling is so much higher at guard, and guard is not. I know people look at tackle and say it's a much more valuable position than guard, but that's not really the case anymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty even. So I think perfect scenario guard, and then you have a guy, an all-pro guard who could play tackle if you ever need it. That's the perfect world.
Hey, was Dwayne Brown, he played the whole game?
Yeah, he played at
How
left
did he
tackle.
grade out? I mean, I didn't hear any penalties on him. I didn't hear any he gave up this or that, so I'm assuming he had a great game.
Yeah, he was solid. He was pretty
There we go.
solid. And then AVT at right tackle, that was the one position. I don't know if he hasn't played center either, but right tackle, he said it during the week. That was the one position he's never played, and he played it flawlessly. Didn't give up a pressure. Solid in the run game. Was just tremendous.
Gotcha. Legend Killer, who's always on. Anyone else think Devontae Adams gets suspended? So when the Jets beat them next week, all the pundits can make that their excuse. I don't know. I saw you push the cameraman. I don't know what they're going to do. I'd be happy. Hopefully he doesn't. But
I think Legend
Adams isn't on
Killer.
the Packers anymore. So
Yeah, he's still thinking Devontae. He's still thinking Devontae with Green Bay.
But whatever. I don't think he should get fined. Talking about Jets. The media always saying coming up with excuses for they're coming up for when the Jets win. That this is hurt and they're hurt and all these different excuses. Yeah, that's what they're going to come up with. We had 2 games. Maybe we shouldn't have won, but we did. There's no doubt that we won this game last week and dominated it. So if the media's going to keep doubting them, you know what? There's no pressure for the Jets. Everybody has a target on their back. We don't. So I'm glad for it.
Yeah, Eagle Fang says taking it day by day, cleaning up the debris for 2 weeks, and now it's without power for 1 week.
That's crazy, man.
But all is well. And by the way, I think it's Eagle Fang. Eagle Fang, confirm this. You were the guy who beat me in the JetX Fan Fantasy Football League last year in the playoffs, right?
Really?
Yeah, in the semifinals. I'm not in the league this year. It was just too much. But if you are that guy, I'm still glad you're okay with the hurricane. But that did pop into my mind. I got to be honest.
Dude, this is a weird question from Joe Campanelli. Wayne, what was it like playing against Romanowski in the AFC Championship game? That dude must have had some good vitamins. Yeah. Questionable vitamin regimen. Listen, today at lunch, I was talking to some guys, and we're talking about concussions and late hits, mostly about the late hits and the roughing the quarterbacks, which we can get into that.
Yep.
And I said, as far as if I played these days, I mean, they can only hit you below the neck, above the knee. Where back when I played, I said Romanowski, he would just like hit you in the ear hole, like elbow you in the ear hole when the play was on the other side, play was over, and you can't hit defenseless players now. And it brought up Romanowski's name. So yeah, he was a different kind of animal. I didn't like the way he played the game, but yeah, he was a little crazy out there. And for what you said, that might be the reason.
Yeah, Romanowski, like you said, he was a different breed for sure.
Yeah, Eagles fan. Keys to Green Bay: getting Aaron Rodgers' face, stop Jones, and offense balance. Attack, no turnovers. Yes, another bend, don't break, don't give up the big plays. But I would take Sauce and Reed and Michael Carter versus Lazard and Dubes and Tanyan. So we can stop those 2 running backs. We have a great chance on the road at Green Bay.
Yeah, and I just talked about the defensive game plan with the Jets, the offensive game plan. LaFleur knew what the Dolphins were going to do. They were going to stack the box, play
Right.
extremely aggressive, be on their toes, and that's what they did. So the first three first downs, he threw the ball. If you track the rushing, the first 5 rushing plays, they only got 12 yards. Then that 4 series started, and boom, on first down, 79-yard play action wheel to Breece Hall, which really changed everything because that was the play where LaFleur said enough. Play straight up against us. You can't play this aggressive. We're going to burn you. And with guys like Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, they could get that done now. And immediately after that, they started running 5 yards a pop. So tip of the cap to LaFleur, by the way. I think the Jets offense could have really good success in Green Bay.
Listen, I said that about the play calling.
Yeah.
It's been all right, but that wheel route, and
Yeah.
he's called good plays this year, but situationally in the last 2 weeks, it's been better. And it's just setting up the run with the pass and the play action, and just the way he's done it in certain places on the field. I gave the coaching an A. The way Sal was fired up and got his guys rallied, and everything they did, offense and defense, you can't not give them an A, maybe an A+ because of the win. So LaFleur's coming along, and he's got his boy Zach Wilson in the mix, and that opens up the playbook a lot bigger than when they had Flacco. And you could see, after the game, doing the tailgate American Dream, and they're like, "Is Zach Wilson the guy?" I had more than one person. I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, what are you thinking? I'm like, he hasn't played in a dozen games. That's it. What he's doing so far, just give the kid a break. And their whole offense is skill position is first and second year guys. I mean, these guys are good, and they're going to get a lot better over the next handful of years.
Yeah, I agree. Zach Wilson has everything it takes. Everything you need out of a franchise quarterback. Arm strength to get it 20-yard out. Those plays is not a lot of. Not every NFL quarterback can make those plays. Eagle Fang did confirm he was the guy that knocked me off in the semifinals last year. Damn you, Eagle Fang. It was a big league too. 18 teams. It was an absurdly big league. I think they cut it down to 16 now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Zach Wilson, be excited about him. He's got everything that you need in this league.
There was another catcher by Rich Jabot. Serious question. Who in the entire NFL would you take for the top 3 DBs over Sauce Reed and Michael Carter in the slot? I'm trying to think who has 3 good.
I'll tell you right now, the Jets are in the top 5, in my view, because Sauce and people are still going to be cautious because he's a rookie.
Right.
But to me, he's a Pro Bowl corner already. Like, he's just that talented.
Yeah. And you know what? We're looking at that. We're talking about Sauce. We have the three probably the 5 best rookies from the draft with Garrett and Breece and Sauce. You might be looking at 1 and 2 for offensive rookie of the year and number 1 for defensive rookie of the year. Can we give credit to Joe Douglas? Yeah.
I mean, listen, for those who wanted Joe Douglas, his head on a stick just 3 weeks ago, I think you may want to hold off on that because this guy did it the right way, and that's the key. I know as fans you don't want to be patient or hear patience or hear culture, but when you drafted so poorly, like they did over the last 10 years, it's the only way to do it. You can't go crazy in free agency. You got to build a young nucleus. And to your point, Wayne, they have how many young guys do they have who are going to develop together? That's what the NFL is now. It's like a big boy collegiate program sometimes if you do it this way. You look at the Cowboys of the early 90s, Jimmy Johnson, college coach coming in. It's kind of the same vibe. Yeah. So they get a lot of talent.
Yeah. Listen, you look at this year's draft, but you look at what Joe Douglas did and getting picks for Sam Darnold and Jamal Adams. And for those picks, you got yourself Garrett Wilson and Vera Tucker for those Jamal picks. And, you're talking last year about, Vera Tucker and Zach. What about Elijah? What about Michael Carter II? There's tons of guys in these last 2 drafts that are staples of this team for the next 5 to 10 years. So Joe
Mhm.
Douglas deserves a lot of credit. What is your feeling, like I said, going to Green Bay, coming off a trip from London on a shorter week? I think that adds into the equation a little bit, with them having that long trip home.
Yeah, it does, and, you brought it up or someone brought it up earlier, all the excuses the media is making, like, the Jets played a third-string quarterback. They beat, Brissett, the third-string quarterback, and then they lost to the 2 elite quarterbacks in Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Hey, the Jets had Flacco for 3 of the 5. They only had their starting quarterback for 2 of the 5.
Right,
And the last 2 opponents, each opponent had 10 days rest.
right,
They played the Thursday night game coming in, and that's that's a thing you haven't been hearing. The Jets' top 4 offensive tackles have been out too until Dwayne Brown got back. So it's football. There are a lot of variables. So to ever make it black and white, like they're just getting lucky, doesn't work that way. And it's not working that way for the Giants either, by the way, whose
right.
coaching staff is legit.
Yeah,
So you are what your record says you are, as a big tuna once said.
they were saying that on the radio today. Legend Kill says about Sauce. I'm not saying he's Revis yet, but I think he's further ahead than Revis was his rookie year. I don't remember
It's possible.
Revis as a rookie, but Sauce, he kind of took the torch and was like, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to do this and that. So got to hand it to him. Look, this was a great play call.
Yeah, it's possible with Sauce. I remember Revis's rookie year. He didn't start establishing himself. He was more under the radar because he was like 18th overall, 16, late teens. By the end of the year, he was a stud. I don't think he made the Pro Bowl that first year either. It just wasn't until the second year. Sauce may be ahead after 5 games, but yeah, this play. Look
Yeah,
at
let me
this
see it.
disrespect.
Let me
Single
see.
high press.
Like, I mean,
Single high press, and then this is the key to me. Put the
that
tight
end
end because
stepped out.
you
Yeah.
got 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, and then you put the tight end in a sifting motion, flashing motion. That screws up their responsibilities here, pretty much. They're on their toes, on their toes, on their toes. Gone.
Oh, he got picked by his
Screwed.
own guy. But you see that
Yep.
outside corner, his nose is on the receivers. The guy on Corey out down here,
Yep.
he's not thinking about anything else.
Nope. Nothing else. And
Well,
Corey's trying to rub here.
what was the down and distance here?
First down.
Yeah, this was a great play call.
Great play call because this is disrespectful too. Press with just 1 deep safety. I mean, they're
Yeah,
basically playing 3 linebackers with this safety here.
yeah.
So hit them where it hurts. And then from this point on, if you track the play by play, they ran the ball great after this.
Watch Brackton's try to pull him into the
Yeah.
end zone here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't know, like just
Oh,
trying to get on the guy.
yeah. And he goes crazy. Look at him. Oh, hit him in the head right there.
Can we talk about Braxton Burrows finally
Yeah.
getting a jet sweep? And I know
Getting in the pylon.
he was down for a while. I think they said he got the wind knocked out of him, but he deserves it, man. He's blocking, he's returning the kickoffs and punts, and not an easy thing to do. Return punts. I did it for a year. It was terrible,
Mm-hmm.
but he deserved a touchdown. And and we had a Jeff Smith sighting.
We did. That's right.
That guy, that's the 6th receiver
Yep.
in the mix. So yeah, Zach's got his choice of weapons, and he's finding all of them. I mean, just it's so nice to have him back. And for anybody who thinks he isn't the quarterback of the future, they want Mike White or Shrievener or Flacco or whatever. You're kidding yourself that they're ever going to be back in as long as Zach's healthy.
100%. I mean, and if you look at Zach's game, okay, he didn't light up the world, but part of being a quarterback is understanding the situation. And the situation of this game called for a game manager type situation. He was efficient.
Right.
And the other thing, he was good. Unlike Pittsburgh, he was good in the short passing game. He placed it in the right spot. Even on a couple spots, he placed it to the inside shoulder of the target to get him up the field and running. So I thought he was quietly really good this week.
Who are you talking about?
Zach.
Oh yeah. No, he's not a game manager. I mean,
No. I'm just saying for this game, it felt that way.
Oh yeah.
But it
When
was
he ran the ball.
it was the right move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, different games, different things he's gonna have to do.
Yeah, he's not a game manager. No.
Now, culture changing guys, we are playing competitive games. I mentioned this. we are playing meaningful football in October, and it's been a while.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is we're 3-2. Have some winnable games, and some it's gonna be tough what we could win. But it's been a decade since we're going into like the second quarter of the season. With playoff aspirations, and not saying, oh, we're gonna start riding this thing out. So yeah, we're playing meaningful football, and hopefully that continues to November.
Yeah, I thought Zach was great because the situation called for him to be efficient and not take high risks, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
Here's Sauce's pick, by the way. See how lagged they are. This was the game plan. Play really loose, keep everything in front. Sauce breaks on it, good pressure. I think it was JFM who got the pressure.
Yeah, he drove on it.
Yep.
They hung up a little bit, and
Hung up a little.
if they do that on these out routes,
Forget
you
about it.
see me going like this. I hurt my damn neck stretching today. I'm getting old, dude. God damn. What else did I see on here? Yeah, we were ranked number 32 and 33 in preseason power rankings. Yeah, I think we're in the teens now. But remember what I said going into the season? Some asshole said the Jets will be lucky to win one game in the first 10 games. That was what people were feeling.
You're keeping that guy unnamed.
Listen, I'm gonna write him a letter when it's time. Hey, listen, there was many more who said. I mean, the Vegas over/under was 4 games. Not saying that they're gonna win 20. I mean 10, but where they are now, I think they believe they could be there. It's only 3 wins. I understand that, Jets fans, but like I said, they're competitive. They had some tough losses, and they've had some good wins, and I think we have a chance to continue that at Green Bay this week.
Let's see. Hey, guys, what do you think about the Jets' chances? I think we already did this one against the Packers. Also, the Giants, we did that one already. What do you guys think about slowing up? Someone mentioned Elijah Moore in the slot. Garrett Wilson's playing more in the slot, and I could see why, because his route running is tremendous. He's really doing a good job. What do you think about Moore and Wilson in the slot?
Either way, I mean, they could both play inside and outside, and that's a gift to have that flexibility. But and then they're dropping Breece Hall. I mean, everybody's interchangeable in that system. I mean, you could flex out the tight ends. You could put Carter in the slot. I mean, LaFleur has his pick of who he wants to get the ball to, and the way that Zach is making his reads, that he's not just predetermined who's getting the ball, makes everybody eligible to get the ball on any down.
Zach reminds me of Brett Favre. What do you think of that comparison?
You could say they're both gunslingers, but I think Zach's a lot more, careful with the ball. Maybe he had some bad interceptions in the beginning of last year, but the end of last year and this year, listen, he's going to take his chances. I said one of these plays was right in the beginning. He rolled out, and he had the high and he had the low, and he could have took the easy one or forced it to the corner out, and he just took the short shot to the underneath guy, got the first down. Where last year, I think he was trying to squeeze that in and to make the fancy throw and the tough throw. So he's learning, and the more he learns, it's going to get scary how talented he is and how much success he's going to have.
Yeah, if I look at the two Packers quarterbacks, Favre and Rodgers,
right,
I'd see Wilson much more as a Rodgers, like different arm angles, different platforms, more efficient with the ball in terms of his ceiling.
People are. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that.
What was it? Let me try to find it.
I don't talk about other media personalities. Like I said, I'm not going to mention what people are saying. I'm not going to mention the one I'm talking about.
Okay. They started naming names in the comments.
Well, maybe I mentioned it. I think
Notre Dame?
I did mention it the first time.
Notre Dame?
What?
Notre Dame?
Yeah. So receipts. Yes, I tweeted out Monday a picture of Braxton Barris that said win, and I said, congrats to Coach Sal and the squad. Hashtag taking receipts. Hashtag Victory Monday. Yes, he made the comment, Coach Sala. He fired up his team. Not that they didn't need that, but he showed the passion for his team and that he believed in them, and they responded to it. Amongst other reasons. But yeah, you want to know that your head coach believes in you, and he showed that. And his passion, man, is great. I said I played for Parcells, and Herm was my best years. And
I was just
they
going
were
to bring up
different.
Herm.
Yeah,
The
they're different.
2002 season, you play to win the game. It's kind of a correlation there if this season turns out that way.
Yeah, I mean, they're both good motivators in different ways, obviously. But Coach Sal, he's got his own thing. He's fired up. He's pumping the fist. He's getting his coaches fired up, not just the players. And like I said, they responded to it. And look, they're 3-2, and going into a big game this week. And they got their first AFC East win last week. So listen, I'm happy to be a ex-Jet and a Jet fan at this point in the season.
How do you feel about the play of the Jets tight end so far this year?
You know what? I was looking at ESPN, the statistical leaders. I was just curious where our guys were, and just looking at amount of catches. I didn't know that Conklin has like 15, 16 catches or something like that.
Yeah, he's up there.
Big catches, but he made some good plays. I think they need to get them more involved in the red zone, just to add that to the middle of the field. But they're blocking well. I mean, you don't get 5 rushing touchdowns if the tight ends aren't blocking well. So yeah, I mean, they're both talented, and they should get the ball more, him and Azuma.
Yeah, I was looking at their formations this year, and they're playing a lot of 3 receiver sets. And that's what's hurt Azuma. Some fans are wondering, hey, where's Azuma? LaFleur loves his 2 tight end sets, and he still uses them. But how do you keep, those 3 receivers off the field? And that doesn't even include Berrios. So you're going to have to play 3 receivers a lot.
Yeah. So here's Steven Rosiak. Hey, guys, do you think Elijah Moore will become disgruntled with the lack of passes, seeing that Brees and Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis have been getting the majority? No, he will not become disgruntled.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the ball. Everybody's gonna feel that way. You can't have it enough. But he'll make his plays. Like I said, LaFleur is going to get to the best matchup. That's who they're going to go after. And Elijah, like I said, can go inside or outside. He's going to make his fair share of plays. They all are. We're talking about this question now, but on this podcast next week, this time, we could be saying that Elijah Moore had the best game as a receiver versus Green Bay. So
yeah, I don't think
3-5.
Yeah, as long as they're winning, no way. And I don't think he's that type of person. No. If he was, Joe Douglas wouldn't have brought him in. Let's put it that way.
Andrew Yakos, how about the young defense? Michael Clemens, your evaluation. I haven't seen Michael Clemens. When you're at the game, you don't really hear the names
tough.
the most. How is
Michael? And you don't get the replay, so it's tough. Clemens has been solid. He hasn't really been on the field all that much because they're just loaded up front. They have so many guys. But for his, 4th round pick, mid-round pick, he's been pretty good. He was good during the summer. He was good in camp. He's the scariest guy on the team, I think, him and Lawson. I mean, geez, if I'm going out on the town, I'm bringing those 2, one on the left, one on the right. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So listen, another draft pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot to be excited about. If there's any more questions. Oh yeah, people, I mean, 10 people have commented who I was talking about.
Yeah, these detectives.
Yeah, I don't mention, people, people have their opinions. I won't mention it because I don't want to give the guy any credit for even being a personality, if he's any. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't worry, he's
not alone. He's not alone.
He's taking it on Twitter right now from Jets Twitter. So don't worry, he's getting his
Look at every week, last 2 weeks, this is 10, 12 experts on who's going to win their games and what's the score is. And 12-12, Pittsburgh's going to win versus the Jets. 12-12, Dolphins going to win versus the Jets. It's just how it's going to be. Some people are more harsh critics of the Jets, and some aren't. So I think at some point, hopefully, we could prove them wrong. Less than 3-2 is going to prove these guys wrong, but get down to 5-2, 6-2, 7-3. I mean, and you were becoming a playoff potential candidate, then I think these people are going to start saying, "Hey, I was wrong." Hopefully.
Yeah, and some people, this is unfortunate, but some people just do it because they know it's New York and they know Jets fans are passionate and they'll overreact to it. So
Yeah. Well,
once
listen,
they
a lot
start
of these guys
winning,
are trolls. Like this,
yeah,
so you guys know there's some questions in here that are just trolls. They
bait.
want me to make a comment on this and that, and I won't. I've been, Jet for 27 years. Social media didn't exist when I played it, really. But I get people say comments all the time about me or about my team or about my family, about anything. And you can say all you want. I'm never going to comment on it or fire back at you. But it's just what this world is made of, haters. People are going to hate on our Jets, but for you true Jet fans, we know you care, and all that matters is you guys and the players on the field.
Yep, and we'll end it on this one. Wayne, I probably not because you've talked about him a lot in the past, but any Bill Parcells stories we may not know about. And he says, "Thanks for doing this. Thanks, AC, for the question."
There's plenty of stories. Trying to think about something that compares to today. Essentially, the biggest thing. What was Parcells's quote about "You are what your record says you
Yeah,
are"?
you are what your record says you are.
Yeah. So the thing with Parcells about it is, I always said that when you lost a game like the Ravens and you're walking around and you're just up against a little, he'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna be fine. We'll get them." And I told you. And then after this game, a big win versus the Dolphins, you'd be like, "Hey, coach, what's going on?" I'd be like, "Hey, what are you so happy about?" Like,
Yeah.
all right, shit, we won, but like high, low, right in the middle, didn't went too high, too low. So that's a Parcells story. That's how he was. He motivated you, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I remember after the 97 season when you guys first made the playoffs and then came back for 98, he had T-shirts made up for you guys. And I forgot
So
there was a slogan, but I forgot what it was. And it was just a kick in the ass type thing, like, "Hey, you haven't
yeah,
proved anything yet." Something in
yeah.
that mold.
So
I wish I could remember. But yeah, he was a master at that.
great show. Appreciate the comments. I love the live shows. Everybody can get their say and answer what actually people want to hear. So looking forward to a big win and
Right.
hopefully a great show next week.
I am not going to Green Bay this Sunday, so maybe we'll talk off the air, but maybe we'll do one immediately after the game if we're
Okay.
both around.
All right. Again, thank you. Tell them with the promos and everything.
JetsXFactor.com, folks. Use discount code 80. Get a discount and a 8x10 signed Wayne Chrebet autograph picture. There are 4 options. 1 with the classic green helmet everyone loves, and 3 with the white
Yeah.
helmet. None with the black, unfortunately. You didn't get the black, but we're going to see the black pretty soon.
Yeah. So thank you, Robby. Great show, and look
Absolutely.
forward to talking to you next week.
Absolutely. Like and share this video, guys, and give us a 5-star review on iTunes. We appreciate you. The Jets are 3-2. If they go to 4-2 next week, oh boy, all bets are off. We'll catch you next time.